Hey y'all, welcome to episode 107 of Consignment Chats. We are back with one of our favorite things to do. That's the C Chat Spotlight. And what better way to start this off than with our new friend who we met in 2022, who's now in it to win it with us forever. She doesn't understand that once you become a part of our family, it's like the mafia. You just can't ever get out.
Yeah, they keep pulling you back in.
That's right. We've got Melanie. Hey, Melanie.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Thank you guys so much for having us on.
Oh, we're so glad to have you. So glad. It's fun to follow you.
Our retail therapist.
Yes. So that's the name of our biz, Retail Therapist. It's a beautiful day for therapy. There you go.
Oh, I love that.
I think we might need those shirts.
We'll send y'all one.
We need one for sure. Give everybody the basic details of your business. We just talked about your name, which you can repeat, where you're located, that kind of good stuff.
Okay. Well, we are Retail Therapists. It's run by myself and my business partner and life partner, Jill. We've been doing reselling for 5 years, a little over 5 years now. And we just kind of stumbled into it organically. We were both looking for another stream of income, something that we both really enjoyed and could get behind. And we just kind of fell in love with it. When you resell, it's one of those things that really gets in your blood.
It does, doesn't it?
It does. It really, like I'm a theater major from, in college. And that's another thing that's in your blood. Like corporate America, that's not always in your blood. But, the things, this is in your blood. So it just kind of grew and grew. And we leave no stone unturned. We don't really have a specific business model because we're looking at all opportunities, and it's so hard to say no to an opportunity. So we've actually kind of stopped sourcing, believe it or not, for the first time in 5 years. I know. And you guys have helped us. You guys and Samantha have helped us with that. So it feels good to say no and kind of get things back under control for now. But I'm sure we'll find some other opportunities later on down the road.
So real quick, is your partner willing to pop her head behind you and just say, hey?
She's she's like, no.
Okay.
She's had her morning coffee, but she hasn't had her morning shower, and her morning hair is amazing. You have not seen morning hair until you've seen Jill's morning hair.
All right.
Well, now we just really
I know.
Thanks for that. Oh man,
she's like, I'll go like this and show you my hair.
Well, you gotta be careful, because if Libby catches a picture of it, she loves to put stuff like that out on our social media. So
see, today is actually relatively tame. The other day she had this whole something about Mary alfalfa thing going on, and I did have to take a picture of that. That was hilarious. I was like, that's the best one I've ever seen. Oh my gosh. And I think I sent it to our daughter too, who will probably sneak it out into social media, knowing her.
So I notice you are drinking out of your Fiesta mug. I know that's one of the things you're passionate about, as I love Fiesta as well.
Oh, and you're so lucky to be over on the east side, so close to the mothership.
Yes, we have a place in the Poconos in Cresco. I think it's called Holly Ross Pottery, and they get a lot of the seconds of, it's escaping me now, of Fiesta, like things that just had a little problem with their run or were a little off color, had a bubble in the glaze. And so I love to go there and find just these really unique items.
Oh, I bet.
Yes, 100%. So I'm part of a Fiesta group. I'm actually part of 2 Fiesta groups on Facebook, and they talk about Holly Ross. And
they do.
Yes, because we, people nationwide, they go on excursions to the factory there in West Virginia, and they'll go to the actual seconds room, but there's all these other places that people say, oh, you got to go hit this, you got to go hit this. And they'll even be like, go to this diner. Like they'll be that specific as to the food you got to eat while you're checking it all
you're
out.
You're deep into Fiesta. Dude, I'm not that deep.
So, but it's the first thing. I'm actually consider myself kind of a minimalist. It's the first thing that I've ever collected, and I really even just like, I only like to buy stuff for us if it's for everyday use.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's for resale.
Right.
But yeah, I did kind of pick up that lilac disc picture the other day. I was like, I can't.
So
I have
did
to. I
you?
can't.
That was so. All right. So you get something, right? You source some Fiesta wear. How do you
Yes.
decide if you are going to keep it or sell it?
Well, okay,
That
so I
process
did
like?
form a plan. So I think probably after when we went to LA, because we're in Las Vegas. I can't remember if I told you all that. We're in Las Vegas, and we decided December of 2020, we decided we were going to go check out this vintage warehouse called Torgum in LA. So we're headed over to LA, and I'm on Marketplace looking at the Fiesta in LA, and there was a listing for over 400 pieces. This woman had passed away, and her family had taken what they wanted, and they were, liquidating the rest. And I was like, holy crap. So it was 400 pieces for, I want to say like $800. So, which I try to stick to around $3 a piece. So I'm like, so we ended up renting a car. We rented a car. We went and we got the Fiesta. We got it all packed up. The guy was very, very nice. And then we rented a second car because we still hadn't been to the warehouse yet. So that trip was actually a lot of fun. But that was the trip when I decided, okay, I'm going to have to form a plan when it comes to my collection versus what are we going to resell. And I decided I want one thing in every color. I have to have something in every color, right? And there were certain shapes that we particularly liked. Of course, the dinner plates. And we're not big on the salad plates; they're kind of small, but we kept a few of them. The bowls, the round bowls that kind of have the lip on them. It's such an iconic Fiesta shape that I was like, well, I have to have some. And I wasn't sure I was going to like them because they're not very stackable. They're kind of, and I have a lot of Libra in me. Everything has to have balance, but I love them because there's such a, there's so much history there. It's like, it's a Fiesta shape. It's instantly recognizable. So we kept a few of those, but anyway, so I decided we're going to go with that. Now we have more dinner plates than we actually use, but I have to have something in every color. So it's worked, it's worked. And of course they keep coming out with new colors. So I'm like, I guess eventually we're going to have like 150 dinner plates. I don't know, but
how many colors are there of different Fiesta wear?
Now, how many current colors? I'm not sure, but I know they have released 55 colors actually since their inception in the late 30s. They've released 55, which it feels like it would be more than that, but yeah, it's only 55 colors. And they just came out, so they announced the new color. This is kind of a niche conversation we're having, but hey, I could talk about Fiesta all day long.
I love it.
They announced the new color in January of every year, but you can pre-order it, but you don't actually get it until like June of that year. Wow. So there's just all this hype, and this year is jade. So it's a very pretty saturated green.
Ooh, yeah. Nice.
So that's what we're doing. And I've gotten at least one kid. We have 5 between us. We have 5 kids. Our youngest will be 21 in April. So they're pretty much, our youngest is the only one we have at home, and they're pretty much off and gone. But I've gotten one kid addicted, and I have a feeling I'm going to get a second kid addicted once she gets old enough to kind of, have her own place.
There you go. There's their inheritance right there.
I know. And then it gives me like another excuse to buy more, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Totally does. I never realized that Fiesta had that many colors. They're like the Sherwin-Williams of pottery. It sounds like.
Right? They are. And actually we'll reference in the groups when we're like, hey, what do you think the new color is going to be? We reference sometimes Sherwin-Williams or there's another paint company. And they'll be like, well, so-and-so just released a taupe. You think this year it's going to be taupe? I don't know, but we always like to like speculate what's it going to be. And it never is what I think it's going to be. It's always something totally different.
Love it. Oh my goodness. Love it. Love it.
So fun. So, all right. I do have a question. So you were talking in the beginning a little bit about, how you had your goals and you cut back on sourcing. How did you come up with the name Retail Therapist?
Wow. We've gone through a lot of names. I think people get stuck when they want to start a business. I think a lot of times people get stuck on the look of it, like, oh, we have to have a logo, we have to have just the right name, we have to have, this and that, our branding in place. And I'm here to tell you, no, you don't. Just get started.
Yes.
So yes. And then we actually started with 2 different stores. And we went through so many different names. Like, I think we started with something that was more Vegas specific and this and that.
Your Trimmed in Lux was good.
Trimmed in Lux, that was one of them, because my eBay account was clothing specific. And so I had Trimmed in Lux. That was pretty good. I had that for a little while. But do you remember how we came up with retail? I think it
Just one day you said, I got a name.
it was just divine intervention, like sometimes creative things find you, you don't find them. Like I was reading Elizabeth Gilbert's book about creativity, and she was telling the story about this poet, and the poet like had this whoever it was, I wish I could remember their name, but they were also a farmer, and so they'd be out in the field and harvesting or doing whatever, and they would feel ideas rushing to them, and so they book it, they're like, oh my gosh, I have to get back to the house, so they could document the creativity that was coming to them. So sometimes it's just like, okay, just open yourself up to whatever's going to flow through. And it's usually the right thing. It's not, well, I didn't sit down with a big corporation and have some kind of brainstorming session. It's just something that just popped in. And when you get that rush, you're like, okay, that's usually it.
Right.
It gives you that pop of excitement.
Is that how you feel, Molly? Like, Molly's the creative. I'm not particularly creative.
I have to get better at, when the things come to my mind, putting them down on paper.
Oh, yes.
I have a very creative brain and things come in all the time.
You're the idea person.
And then I forget. Libby is the take it and do it. And I just will call her at like 9 o'clock at night and go, okay, don't let me forget. I have this idea. Da, 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 But
yes.
if I don't say it when it comes out or put it down, I will lose it. And because they do one time I sat with my husband because I said something, he goes, how did you even get there? How are you even saying that? And I said, well, because we were talking about this, and then this reminded me of that. And like, I actually went through what brought me to that. And it was really funny. It was so funny, the association that started.
And your husband's going the whole time, what?
Right. And he's like, wow, all that got you to that? And I was like, oh, it's just how my brain works.
Yeah, embrace it, right?
I'm so excited that you went with that creativity. You came up with Retail Therapist. We're going to put your logo on stuff because it's also very beautiful when you handed me the business card, which I'm going to get. So how we met is we were sitting at Boss Reseller Remix, and maybe you were sitting like 2 chairs away from me, maybe a chair away from me. I don't remember. And we just turned to each other and started talking, and it was just like, oh, this is my people. This is awesome. I was just
it was instant connection. It was really interesting. I mean, I'm a big girl, so we were actually sitting 2 chairs away because I had I'm like, I like my space. I'm a big girl, so I have my bag here, but then you guys came and sat down, and it really, honestly, Jill and I are very reclusive. And when we first started live selling on Whatnot in August, that kind of helped open us up. And we were like, oh, this is fun. We want to get more involved in the community. So I went to the Boss Reseller Remix. And you guys, for day one, first thing in the morning, y'all sat down, and Libby and I introduced each other. And we were like, okay. We just knew.
This works.
And we're like,
you didn't realize you were sitting next to the Chatty Cathy people, did you?
Well, I'm grateful that y'all adopted me. I really do feel like we're each other's people.
We instantly signed the paper, so
yes.
I'm just like so surprised to say you guys are somewhat reclusive, and because that wasn't the vibe I got at all. And like, you are so out there, and you were the first interview they did for the Seller Community Podcast and put on there, and you did such a phenomenal. So for me to hear you say that is just so, and then to say you were a theater major too.
I know.
What? And your live sales are so fun, and so
thank you.
You're just so personable on camera and everything, and in person.
So, Libby, you should connect with all that though, because that's your personality. You're very reclusive and you have to work to put yourself out there in those type situations. Melanie, I kept telling her during that time how proud I was of her for really going beyond her comfort zone and just talking to people, because that's not typically Libby. It's typically
Yeah.
me. I'm a, hey, what's going on? You know, I'm a hugger. I meet you, you're in it.
Yeah.
But Libby did such a phenomenal
She
job.
really did.
So
Yeah.
you know, I feel like you both have that same, that's something y'all share in common. Although I don't think Libby was a theater major.
That would be like my worst nightmare, honestly.
Right?
Like yeah, to be on stage. Yeah, I've never. Never. I really admire.
Well, I do remember
that.
during the remix, you said, Libby, you told me the story about how painfully shy you were. I hope you don't mind me bringing that up.
No, I don't care.
No.
And I was the same way. I was like, what? Because you really have kind of groomed yourself in a way, or, you know, trained yourself to kind of come out of that. And probably because, you know, it's good for you, you know, it's good for your mental health. It's to have friends and to be particular about who you share yourself with, but that at the end of the day, it is good.
Sometimes the particular people you make mistakes every now and then, but yeah, you tend to find you tend to find your tribe pretty easily, you know.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I did, but I don't know if you have this experience, but when I record, when I do live selling, when I do all that, for me, it's like running a marathon. Like an hour of live selling or 2 hours of live selling is literally like a full day of work for me. Like it exhausts me mentally to do a recording, to put myself out there. And it's gotten a little bit easier, but it's so unnatural, and it takes like every fiber of my being to do that. So I don't know if you
what
feel
made
that
you
way?
decide is that because, did you decide you wanted to do it because that's just kind of the way things are going?
Do what, as far as what?
Live selling?
For the live selling, because it's so hard for you, but you were like, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because our business, our mission in our business is to grow a community, and the best way to connect with the community is to put yourself out there and be on video and interact. So I mean, it is a big part of why I do it. I'm glad I do, but it doesn't, it's just exhausting. That's all.
Yeah. It is. I think it is exhausting for me as well. I don't think it's as exhausting, but it feels like it. You said run a marathon, and like marathon runners also get a high, you know, and like at the end, I'm tired, but I feel like I've just played really hard. You know, I'm not as drained because I am also naturally an introvert. So if I'm around a large group of people, if I'm socializing for a long time, I do get drained and I have to be by myself to re-energize. But I'm not drained like that. I just feel like I've played hard. And I just need
that's a really good analogy. I like that a lot, because that is what it feels like. Molly and I always say, like, oh, you know, we do our live sale once a week, and we're always like, you know, it's a lot of work you put into prep, and it's like, oh, you know, I don't feel like it. And then every time after we do it, we're both like, oh my God, yeah, you get that high. Like, yeah, that was so fun. That was great.
It is fun. And then like you say, as you're building your community and you see all your friends popping into the chat, and you're like, oh, you know, you just get this little jolt every time. There's my friend so-and-so. There's my friend Molly, Libby. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna look at it like that. I've been, I guess, maybe focusing on the negative of like how taxing it is, but I like that.
Yeah, but for sure, take care of yourself afterwards, because it's tiring, but it's a good tired. But you still have to take, you know, go, okay, now I can allow myself to just breathe for a minute and just kind of recover. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Lauren? You know.
We say, so we do our live sale and it's called Resale Therapy.
Yes. And it's Thursday afternoons, right?
Thursday evening.
Well, evening for us, afternoon for you.
Yeah, true.
And we say the next day, like, it's like a resale therapy hangover, is like you get that like Oh, everything's torn up. You're exhausted. You're just like
Oh
it
my God,
feels
so
just like
true.
a hangover.
Yeah,
Friday's like,
100%.
yeah, you gotta Friday, you gotta ship it all, and then you spend, a good part of your day just reorganizing, cleaning up from the wreck of Thursday night,
Yes. Over Labor Day weekend, we did a really big push on Whatnot. Excuse me. And we did 2 shows a day. And I actually did a reel about it on our Instagram, which is Retail Therapist with 2 L's. And I was like, does anybody else look like Whatnot exploded all over their house? Because you don't think the physical part of it is 100%. What you were saying is 100% on point. It's just like everything just got thrown up in the air.
Right.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
insane.
I gotta say, I have to go see that reel.
Just break
I'll have to
open
find it's buried down deep, but yeah, it's in there.
you break open the reseller pinata when you do live sales. That's what it
Yes,
is.
exactly.
Break
Yeah.
open the pinata and it all flies out.
Oh, that sounds like a reel in itself, Molly. You need
Yes,
to, you need
Yes,
to
the
get on
reseller
that.
pinata. What's in
we're
your
gonna make a
pinata?
reseller pinata, I think.
So you will be, I'm assuming, you'll be going to Boss Reseller next year.
Yes, and I've told Jill she's going.
All right,
That
So-
was my next
go in.
question.
Yes, we are for sure going. The vibe at the reseller remix is so for those people that will be watching in the future that may not know, it's always in October and it's here in Las Vegas. And Katie and Vicky, Vikki, and Teresa Cox, they're the ones that started it. Last year was actually its 2nd year.
Yeah.
And so it's just phenomenal, the success. And Boss Reseller Remix actually has its own website, so you can go find it. But it's kind of the big reseller event on the West Coast. And I think over on you guys' end, is it FlipCon?
They have
FlipCon will be
FlipCon
going into its second year. They've only done it one
Okay.
year. Yeah.
Wow.
Last
Okay.
year, I think it was only one day, but this year, Josh, I think they're doing it for a couple of days from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're extending it, so it'll be a little bit longer.
So we're gonna do East and West Coast.
Yeah.
Yes, y'all should. You have to come back. For
Oh,
sure.
we've already booked our room, honey. We're there.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
we're
good.
good. We're
Samantha
good.
with us. Samantha's coming with us. So.
Yep. And
Well, I
Samantha.
told Jill it kind of felt like a big family reunion.
Yeah.
Which you learn a lot and you get to hear what other people are doing in their businesses. But as far as just the overall energy, it felt like a big family reunion, but without the dysfunction. I guess I should put that caveat in there. But without all the dysfunction, you don't need to carry around your bottle of wine. It's
Right,
just
right. Yeah, it's such an amazing group of people. And I
Yeah.
left there still to this day regretting not connecting with certain people. But I think when you first go, it's very overwhelming. I think the second year, like I left this year is my first year with a list of, okay, next year I'm going to make sure to connect with this person, that. Like I already have my idea of who I want to, truly
Yeah.
sit down and connect with, because even though I didn't get the chance because I was bonding with the other new friends I met, I could just see and tell I'm going to love them,
Yeah.
and I want to
Yeah.
connect with them. But it's just such a well organized, very positive across the board experience.
So positive. Yeah.
And I think everybody, if you're on the fence, people, and you're listening, jump
Go.
off the fence. Jump
Right.
off, get off that fence.
Just dive into the deep end. Just go.
You will leave 100% happy that you went, no doubt.
Yes. And the food is so good.
The food
If
is
you're a
good.
foodie, go.
Oh yeah.
It was just all so good.
The costumes and the fun and the we have
Yes.
serious moments, we have emotional moments, and we have some hysterical moments. We like cross the board.
And we'll
Yeah.
get to meet Jill. She won't just be this voice in the background.
I
How
know.
cool is that?
She's like this disembodied voice that's usually over here. And she's like, okay, the auction's over. Okay, somebody asked a question. I'm like, okay. There was one time, I can't remember if I told y'all this story, but there was, excuse me, this is probably going to be TMI. There was one time she had made enchiladas for dinner. And it was the night of an auction. It was we were going to do a Lululemon auction on Poshmark or a live show on Poshmark. And she made enchiladas. And so like halfway.
I was wondering if you were going to tell this.
This was so yeah, she's still like, I
And
hate
this
you.
is why she won't put her
Talk
face
about
on camera.
marathon.
Yes, and
Now
I
she's
mean,
never gonna put her face on camera.
I know she still hasn't showered. She's just like we wake up really slow in this house. Let me tell you, we wake up really slow. But I love you guys, so I got my butt out of bed. But anyway, so she made enchiladas for dinner, and like 2/3 of the way through the Posh Live show, I was like, Jill, I've never done this, but I have to go to the bathroom. And I don't think I even said that. I think I just said I had to step away for a second. I said it won't be
And I
that.
gave you the death stare.
Oh, she, when I tell you this woman, she was so, she gets,
Dear headlights.
she gets on the camera, like, and I can hear her from where I am. I can hear her. And she's like, well, so, and it was total deer in headlights. And I got back on, and I was like, what I was picturing is that scene in Breakfast Club where, you know, the kids they're in the library and they're all at their tables, and the principal walks in and he points to Ali Sheedy's character and she goes like that, you know, and her hood flips down. Jill was like, I'm going to kill you.
Oh my gosh.
This is happening. I'm glad you have good life insurance because you're going to be dead. Yeah. But we live.
All
We
right,
all
so-
live.
Pro reseller tip for doing live shows: no enchiladas.
No enchiladas.
No
prior.
enchiladas before a live show.
Yeah. No.
Done.
No enchilada. Have an apple.
Apple.
You
That's what
cannot
we
do.
landed on.
Yeah. No enchiladas prior to a live show.
Wow. I mean, that tip is gold. That
Right?
is
Yeah.
gold. Wow. And you learned it
Yes.
here at C Chats with Retail Therapist.
You never know. Like, you don't know what you're going to hear at C Chats. You have to tune in every time.
And that's a new one. We've done a lot of roundtables on live selling and tutorials, but I have to say we've never gotten that tip, and it's a really, really good one.
Yeah. I mean, because you know, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
it was just, I was trying so hard because I knew Jill was going to kill me.
I knew
but-
the story only had two directions to go. You know, you just I knew it was going to be one or the other, but both from the same body part. So
Yeah. When I said this is probably TMI, Molly's like, pause.
No, Molly's like, oh, what? Yeah, I love it.
my talk. Let's go. Okay, Jill. I mean, I forgot what I was going to say.
We can send them an insert of me dying on camera.
Oh,
and
do you have it on video?
A lot of this conversation.
Jill, she does a screen recording of all of our live shows, so I'm sure we can find it on her phone.
Send it because
Well, I
can
gotta make notes. There's so many things I have to send you. Okay, I've got the
Right.
reel of what was the reel we were talking? Oh, the what not explosion in the house. Okay, and then
Yes.
Jill dying. Yeah.
'Cause I
Oh
can,
my
I can put that
gosh.
in just where I messed up. I can put Jill dying right in there.
Jill, yeah. Yeah, there you go. There you go. She'll become a gift.
Yes.
Jill,
Oh,
you're gonna be a
this-
gift.
All right. So Melanie and Jill and the voice behind the camera.
Disembodied voice.
literally.
Still.
Literally behind the camera. I cannot thank you girls enough. This was
Thank you.
exactly what I thought it would be. Hilariously informative.
Thank you thank you guys again. Thank you for adopting me, and thank you for letting us showcase our business, Retail Therapist. It's always a good time with you guys.
Well, we feel the same about you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
All right,
A
we're gonna link
big heart,
everything.
no less.
Libby's going to link everything up as usual, friends. So make sure that you check her out because you don't want to miss it. So much fun. So much fun.
Thank you.
So period, much period, fun, exclamation, exclamation, exclamation.
Glad I was wearing waterproof mascara. That's all I'm gonna say.
I know, I was laughing so hard. I literally think I wiped all my concealer off from under my eyes. So you'll see the bags. So listen, I'm glad that we're getting back into this because I just love the spotlights, and we have some new ones that are being scheduled now. But I want to make sure that guys, if you listen to us and you have a business, reach out to us. We love nothing more than to spotlight our Sea Chatters businesses. We
Yes.
love it. I mean, that's what we're all about: community, supporting each other, and growth. So, and if you're shy and you think, OMG, I can't do that, you can.
Oh yeah. I mean, if something came out of this episode, it was that, we were terrified,
Oh, horrified.
yeah, to be on camera and record. But I mean, so much good comes out of it. Like all the connections we've made, and every time we do an episode, we learn something. This particular one was don't make enchiladas before.
Enchiladas are no.
For live sales. But there's some connection that we didn't realize for people that we know and are friends with, that we have in common every single time we do one of these spotlights. And I'm sure that the listeners are also connecting and saying, oh yeah, wait, I like Fiesta ware. Oh yeah, I'd never thought I shouldn't have an enchilada before a live sale. So yeah.
Hey, do me this favor, y'all. Put in the comments if there's something that you don't do before a live sale. Maybe you have something. Maybe it's not enchiladas. Maybe there's something else we need to know about.
Yeah, I wonder.
Put it in the comments.
Like the video, just hit that little thumbs up if you're on YouTube. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a review. We love to read them on the air. And if you like, leave your business name so we can give it a shout out.
Yes. Love it. All right, Lib, until next
time. With us
time.
in the community. There's so much good stuff happening in the community. I'm not even going to get into it right now, but we are talking a lot about 2023 and goals and where we are going with our businesses. It's just
book clubs coming up. You guys
get
in there and get involved. You don't want to miss anything. Lots of fun things. Lots. All right, Libby, until next time.
Oh,
get your drink, my friend.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining Libby and Molly, the ladies of Consignment Chats, as we build a resourceful community of collaborative resellers. Find all the ways to connect with us at consignmentchats.com. Episodes are available on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts. In addition, you can find us on Facebook in our Consignment Chats community. Until next time.